Back in 2005, in February 9th, I was there. I was in the city of Chicago. There was a big earthquake. I felt the earth shaking under my feet. The people were scared. People were panicking. Now, when this was going on, I heard in the background, okay, the song, "The Night Chicago Died." I have had this vision twice, the same one. The city of Chicago is going to suffer a terrorist attack, an earthquake, or both, causing much devastation in the city. Now, in addition to this, I also saw the Great Lake there in Chicago, close to Chicago. The water level began to go down very fast. Now, in 2005, I had an experience. I saw a tsunami, December 29, 2005. I was in the beach coast. I was staying on the third floor hotel, and I was looking down, looking at the beach, and I saw the water beginning to retreat rapidly into the sea, and the seashore becoming very dry, just like you see there in the picture. I saw it beginning to just retreat. I knew from seeing other events that people have seen that it was a tsunami. So I went down and tried to warn the people, telling them that they had 20 minutes to get out. But no one believed me. They kept having a good time in the beach. In the distance, I could see the people in boats. They had sailboats and different kind of boats in the distance. They were having a good time. I went back up to my room. Then suddenly I began to see the boats of all sizes, the catamarans, the sailboats, by the hundreds. They began to come in. People, they were scared now, and they were jumping off their boats as they ran towards the shore with a look of panic and horror in their faces as they could start to see the giant tsunami, and I saw it too, in the distance, making its way towards the beach. I noticed a very large throne with the Lord sitting on it, beckoning me to come closer. I saw him holding a big book on his lap. I kept looking at him and the book he was holding, and suddenly I was right there next to him. I was just looking at him. I was so amazed at just looking at him. When you're in his presence, you just don't want to look at anything else. You're just consumed with him. But he looked down at the book. Eventually, I looked at the book. And when I looked at the book, he was looking at a page. And I saw the page that the book was open to. And at the bottom of the book, I saw the sentence written. At the bottom of the page, I saw the sentence written, "At the end of times." Right next to it, I clearly saw some dates written. When I saw the dates, I asked him, "Is this the date when the end of times will begin?" And as I said the words, the one sitting on the throne and holding the book nodded to me with a serious, somber look on his face. We also believe, after much prayer, that it may have something to do with a coming cosmic event that somehow will affect time as we have known it on planet Earth. We believe some horrible cataclysmic event will be responsible for this. This was confirmed to me 3 months later in the pole shift vision. In June 28, 2006, I was in this place that I was looking at the beautiful stars in the heavens when suddenly the stars started moving fast. First slowly, and then fast. It looked at first like the stars were falling. But then, as I kept watching it, I realized that the stars were not falling. The earth was moving, causing me to see the stars like moving fast. The earth was shifting. You know, the stars were stationary, but the earth was moving fast. And the earth started to shake and wobble. I had to hold on to nearby rocks so that not to fall from the violent shaking, rolls and spinning that was taking place. I started feeling dizzy, and confusion came over me. I looked and saw the water of a nearby lake also started to disappear. I looked somewhere else for a moment and looked back at the second time, and all the water from the lake was gone. It was like it was drained. Then I also noticed UFOs began to appear everywhere, as if somehow they were connected to the whole thing. Or whatever was happening was making them appear, which before they were not visible, now they were visible. In 2009, September, I saw a massive hurricane. I saw a huge hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. It was so gigantic, it extended all the way from Mexico to the Florida Peninsula. It covered the whole thing. It was just sitting there, huge, looking very threatening. It seemed as if it was getting ready to cause destruction to America. It was going to come in through the Gulf states. April 28, 2010, I saw fireballs begin to fall from the skies. On closer inspection, they looked like meteors or asteroids burning with fire, falling from heaven all over the place. Suddenly, I saw a man, the same man I've seen before. He started telling me, "Follow me." As I started to follow him, he saved my life. Basically, when he told me to move, and I moved, the place where I was, a fireball fell right there moments later. And then I was following him, and he would say, "Follow me." And the place where I was that time, another fireball would fall there. And so this is how he guided me to safety. And whenever he would tell me not to go to a certain place, a moment later, a ball of fire would hit right there. You need to be led by the Spirit, people. But God will begin to protect His people supernaturally through His angels. It is later than people realize. You need to make sure you're right with the Lord. You need to get that resentment out of your heart. You need to get that anger out of your heart. You need to get that unforgiveness out of your heart. You need to get all that junk and sin out of your heart. You need to let it go. Let it go. Give it to God. Give it to the Father. This is not the time to be holding on to those things. May 28, 2011, I saw a spiral. That's how it looked. That's the closest thing I could find. It was a bluish hue spiral. It was in the heavens. It came out of nowhere, started spinning. As I was watching this spiral, I found myself saying in a loud voice to the people, and I don't know why I said it, but I did. I kept saying to them, "It's spreading radioactive material everywhere." So this thing is going to be radioactive. Then right after, I started saying to the same people, there are 2 fleets of UFOs following right behind it. And I woke up realizing it was just a dream. Now, these people, this strange spiral is going to begin to appear. This appears to be the same time the Watchers, the fallen angels, the Anunnaki will be returning to planet Earth to initiate the New World Order, Satan's final rebellion against the lawful ruler of the universe. This is called alien invasion that has been broadcasted by Hollywood and the powers that be for many years. The Bible calls it the great deception. Warns the people of God to not be deceived by it. These entities will empower the first beast, Antichrist, and the second beast. The spiral has something to do with the arrival of the man of sin who will preside over the New World Order. This man is already alive on planet Earth. Position of great power. When this happens, he will be indwelled by a spirit from the bottomless pit called Abaddon, Apollyon, Revelation 9:11. God will protect His own. December 15, 2010. This was a powerful experience I had. I was in a large room sitting across a large desk from a man on the other side. I did not recognize the man, but I believe he was a messenger from the Lord. And the third time, I realized it was the third time, and I made a comment about it out loud. Finally focusing and reading the scriptures that were written on the bottom, and the two scriptures were 1 Samuel 2, 9 to 10, and 1 Corinthians 6, 14. Now, people, this shows us the lateness of the hour. I was overwhelmed and blown away by it. I don't have time to get into the scripture detail by detail, but it is incredible. He talks about the darkness. He talks about what is about to happen. He talks about the wickedness. He talks about how the Lord is. It talks about how the Lord is going to protect the remnant. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. Listen to it. He will keep the feet of his holy ones, but the wicked shall be put to silence. Listen, in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. They that strive with Jehovah shall be broken to pieces. Against them will he thunder in heaven. Remember, when the Lion of the tribe of Judah roars, puts one foot in the land and the other in the sea. Against them he will thunder from heaven. Jehovah will judge the ends of the earth, and he will give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. And 1 Corinthians 6:14, read it too. He talks about redemption at a very difficult time on planet Earth. Okay? But the important part there is, he shall protect his holy ones, but the wicked shall be put to silence in darkness. By strength shall no man prevail. People, you will not be able to save yourself by your own strength. And finally, I'm going to close with this. The coming glory cloud. This was in 2007. This is going to happen too. Now, I was standing on this very high platform. Below there was multitude of people. They were Christians. I perceived they were Christians. They were waiting and anticipating for something to happen. I kept telling them to get ready for the coming of the glory of the Lord. I kept telling them to get their lives in order, get ready. Everyone seemed worried, concerned about stuff going on in their lives, in the world around them. They had their eyes on everything going on except the Lord. I became very frustrated. They were not listening to me. I noticed there were several other men on the big platform with me. One of them was a big black guy who seemed to be like my personal bodyguard. I mean, he was huge. And he looked at me with a sad face, bewildered look in his face that the people were not listening to me. And suddenly he was looking in my direction, to my left, and he was overwhelmed. He just fell down prostrate on the floor. And as I turned to look where he was looking, I noticed in the distance appeared a very big, bright cloud of glory. I quickly turned to the people and told them, I said, hurry up, get ready, get prepared, lift your hands up, begin to worship the Lord. Get ready. As I turned again, I saw the glory cloud. It was much closer this time. I noticed inside the glory cloud, I noticed there were a lot of chariots, a lot of horsemen, a lot of movement in there. The tall black man had been prostrate on the floor, got up, and seeing the people were still not listening to me, turned to the people and spoke out with a loud, booming voice and great authority, listen to the apostle. I woke up from that vision with a strong urgency in my spirit. This is the interpretation. The glory of the Lord is about to invade planet Earth. It's extremely important to stop playing games and get ready to be received by the coming glory and immersed by it. This glory cloud also represents a gathering of the saints from the four corners of the earth, as it's called the harpazo. I sense urgency in the vision. The fact that many of God's people are not prepared. They were just looking at their problem, at their circumstance. As the darkness continues to engulf planet Earth, people, it's time to wake up and get ready for the darkness and for the glory. Isaiah 61 says, there will be great darkness, but in the midst of that great darkness, the glory of the Lord shall rise upon thee. God bless you.